I'm ready when you are, Shepard.
Okay, cool.
So we'll see if you can answer these as you sign. First one, shall I start?
Sure.
From Blake Byers says, you mentioned the image is based on a photographer. How do you glean ideas and execute using their images?
Well, when I started off on this project, I first watched the film, and there were a lot of great moving images in the film, but for me to make a really powerful static image, I need something that conveys some of the ideas. So I asked the filmmakers to send me stills from the shooting, outtakes, even things that didn't make it in the film that might be useful. And they sent me some references from a couple of different photographers, which I ended up combining to make this image. The sky is from one image, but this image of the factories and the windmills was an image that the filmmakers had, but it just needed to be made a bit more dramatic. So the concept of green energy versus fossil fuel is very well conveyed with the juxtaposition of the factory and the windmills. I felt it was important to show the effect of the pollution on the sky, so I made that more dramatic. I made the windmills a little bit more prominent to really bolster the impact of their presence, and and then of course illustrated it in my style. But the important thing for me when I'm working is always to find good references that help me convey the concept that I want to convey, and then I really focus in on what I think gives an image its power and eliminate everything else that's superfluous.
Cool. Let you sign for a second. Brandy, hi, do you have a question?
I do. Let me get my hair ready, Joe. For Amnesty, she actually wants to have the Spanish translations today if you have the time.
Just get Casey to do it.
Okay, so
it's in the folder? It's in the Amnesty 50 folder.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool. I'm going to get Cleon since Casey's on Nike right now.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay,
yeah.
Thank you.
Sure.
Continuing with Blake's question, why are you concerned with conditions of our planet, and do you think speaking up will change anything?
I'm concerned with the conditions on our planet because I want it to continue to be inhabitable for my own kids and generations to come. It's an amazing resource that, if managed well, I think can endure. And just like we're over-consuming so many different things, we're using the resource of the planet. It's short-sighted. So yes, I think that making any sort of statement about preserving the planet can be impactful, because if the lawmakers feel that they will be voted out of office if they aren't on the right side of policy, then they will they will bow to the pressure. And the unfortunate thing is that the corporations have a lot more power. So really, grassroots activists, the average voter, needs to be that much more vocal to compensate for the disproportionate allocation of power. It's so concentrated with the corporations. But in the end, the democracy will function properly if people actually vote and are conscientious about what's happening with the environment.
Cool. What is the significance of the quote?
Well, the interesting thing about the quote on this print, forward or backward, is that, of course, fossil fuels as a way of creating energy are well established, but they aren't renewable. And continuing to focus on more and more difficult ways of getting to fossil fuels, whether it's coal or oil, is it's not. It's moving backwards. It's more destructive to the environment when the extra effort that it takes to get those now harder to reach resources could be applied to new technologies. That's the way the United States is going to maintain a competitive advantage. I don't see how the right wing and the left wing could not agree. The right wing can say economic superiority. The left wing can say save the planet. Everyone should be able to get behind this issue. Green energy is the way forward. On a personal note, The Clash and the song White Riot say, are you moving forward or are you moving backwards? So I really like that quote because it's a little nod to The Clash, whether the filmmakers knew it or not.
Right. And that question was from Chris Farina, as well as this comment. It says, I understand your desires for energy reform, but it really doesn't have much to do with the print. He said, is that a nuclear cooling tower in the background being considered backwards? Are you saying that only wind energy is the proper pathway?
I'm definitely not saying that only wind energy is the proper pathway. And, we all know with what just happened in Japan that there are hazards with nuclear. I actually think that nuclear is probably better for the environment generally than coal. I think this is more metaphorical than meant to be taken literally. That you've got wind as one form of green energy. I think solar, of course, is great. There's any number of paths to green energy. So just look at it as a metaphorical piece, not so literal. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Great.
Thank you, Shepard.